Hi guys, this is James. This is my day 18 of taking Fenben. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Fenben first and talk to you. Again, taking 1 gram from the Panacur-C packet. This much is 1 gram from the packet. It contains 222 milligram of active Fenben. So in essence, I'm only taking 222 milligram. Actually, that 222 milligram has some important implications, especially in the context of what I am going to be telling you today, or what I'll be discussing anyway. Anyway, that's olive oil, 1 gram. That's all I'm going to be taking. No other supplements, no vitamin C, no vitamin E, nothing else. I actually do have quite a few things I wanted to talk to you today, so for the first time, I worked up a list of things I want to talk to you about. The first thing is Billy Rubin. Thanks to Tribulation Prepper, I did not know Billy Rubin was also a Jewish country western singer. So thanks for that. Maybe I'll wait for their first album to be to go on sale sometime soon. That's very interesting, and thank you actually. And how does it work? Terry Fish. I'm sorry if I'm giving out all these names and you didn't want these names to be put out there. I apologize. Actually, going forward, I'm just going to use the first names only and not the last name. Anyway, Terry, thanks for being with me for the many episodes that I had put out there for Fenben use. And you asked me whether I have done some research and whether I know how Fenben works. I've done quite a bit of research. I don't really know how it works, but I have seen quite a few people with some medical background, unlike me, and they discussed the mechanics of how the Fenben might be working. And these are some very smart people, much smarter than me. Some of them are actually doctors, medical doctors. And the way it apparently works is that it attacks the cancer cells. So every cell, including cancer cells, they need to continuously multiply. Supposedly on daily basis, there are billions of cells that are being generated in our body. So that's a lot of cells. Anyway, the cells need to continue to multiply. Either they multiply or they die. So that's the only options they have. They need to continue to multiply because otherwise they would die off on their own. Apparently what the fenbendazole and Fenben, so Fenben is part of the fenbendazole family. So what the fenbendazoles do is they inhibit the splitting of the cells. Thus, these cancer cells cannot generate themselves. They cannot split into more cells. And the technical word that they had used was microtubulation. I have totally no idea what that means, but it's something to do with the splitting of the cells and then turning into more cells. And Fenben inhibits that, and that's big because all these bad suckers, they need to keep on multiplying if they're just going to eat into you. And that's one wonderful aspect of Fenben. And then the other aspect is glucose. It inhibits glucose, and apparently cancer cells, they eat off of glucose. So if there's not enough glucose, the cells cannot grow. So that's the information that I have gotten by looking at these YouTubes and YouTubers. Before, when I was younger, and we used to say I surf the web. You would be surfing the web for information. I don't do that as much anymore. I use the Google, but more often these days I go to the YouTube and I just type in whatever I'm looking for, and it's usually in there. One note is the YouTubers, the people who post videos on the YouTube, you'd be surprised and amazed to know that there are like tons and tons more people, based on the population, or the percentage of the population that are posting YouTubes in Korea. I mean, there are a lot of people in Korea who are using YouTube to speak out on many other issues. And I guess the description is Phono sapiens, whereas we used to be Homo sapienses, and now there are more Phono sapiens, people who are using the smartphones as a part of their limbs or appendage, and they just live with it. And there are a lot of Korean people, especially young people, who are using smartphones to express themselves. And this is quite actually different. I mean, it is a trend, I guess, global, worldwide, but it's more pronounced in Korea. And when it comes to the fenben uses, it's like thousands of people in Korea are speaking up and speaking on the topic, and many of these people have actually themselves used the fenben or albendazole or mebendazole, all these bendazole families, and they have come out and spoken about their experiences, the benefits, the side effects. And quite a few people actually also are talking about how they overcame cancer, and this is incredible. So part of the problem with the fenben and other fenbendazole drugs, when it comes to the actual usage of it, is as follows. One, you cannot have any medical professional recommend it to you. I mean, it's not legal. I mean, if you are a doctor, you could not prescribe it to anybody. I mean, you can't tell a human being to say and say, go ahead and choose the fenben for your treatment. I mean, it's just impossible. So if you are a doctor, you could not prescribe it. So if you are a patient and you go to your doctor, you can't get it prescribed, and no one would say you should take it. So you can't take it based on the recommendation of your doctor or health professional. And then recommendations from people like me. How about lay people? Well, we can't make that recommendation because we don't have the medical background. We're not qualified. I can't just come up to you and say, hey, Billy, why don't you use this, see if it works? Because I don't know really what it's going to do to you or to your body. All I know is what I have seen other people do, or what I have seen other people go through, or the experiences that they have had with the fenben. And it's incredible. I mean, I'm actually surprised that the English speakers are somewhat more shy about speaking about their experience. I guess there's privacy concerns. A lot of people do not want to share their stories when it comes to the struggle with their illness, be it arthritis, diabetics, or cancer. I mean, a lot of people, they just want to keep it private, and it's between them and their healthcare professional. They don't really want to come out on YouTube and have everybody, know about your condition. I totally understand that, but on the other hand, there are people who need information, who are trying to get the same type of information that you might be looking for. Like I said, there's no medical professional who will be recommending for you to try fenben. I mean, it's just impossible. It would be illegal. They would lose their license. And for people like me, I can tell you about what happened to me and how I felt, but I could not make that recommendation to you. I would love to, but I'm not qualified. I don't know enough. If you were my mother and you had asked me, James, should I take this? I would most definitely say, Mom, go ahead and take it. What else do you have to lose? You only have a few months to live, right? I mean, that's what had happened to my mom. And if my mom was still here, I would most highly recommend it. because I've done it already, and I've taken it already. But I couldn't do that for you or anybody else who may be suffering from cancer and other ailments. How can I? But how can any doctors do that either? So you're stuck. Actually, you're really screwed. This is so bad. I mean, there's a drug that has the possibility and a potential to help you get better, but no one can recommend it for you or to you. So you actually have to make a decision based on the limited information that's available out there. There's not enough clinical studies to tell you if you're doing good, bad, or how you would be reacting. So we are in a situation where I guess it's a nowhere land. You don't really have anyone you can rely on to provide you with some type of guidance. So you run into quack like me, who is not going to make a recommendation, but who still says it's wonderful using it. I guess that's where we are, and let me go back to my list. Actually, this is going to be a rather long episode actually this time, since I have a list and it's almost 11 minutes already, a little past that. Anyway, the fungal nail, I wanted to do it today, but obviously this is taking too long, and so what I'll do is I'll have a separate episode, and I will probably give it a name, something like fenben versus fungal nail. I'm going to give you the before and after and the treatments that have gone into it. It's pretty good actually. I've seen some very good results, and like Surya, my friend in Germany, who's from India, has stated the allergies reacting negatively to fungus, moisture, and the curing of fungal nail. There might be some type of a connection. The Korean YouTubers, thousands of them, they have reported all kinds of benefits, and as well as some side effects. One of the benefits had been actually the fungal nails. That's where I got the idea, and then also atopy, bad skin, like zits, and then like those white like fat that collects on your head, face, things like that. I mean, they have been reporting that these have been gone, and that also includes the nasal passage, clearing up of it. So, I mean, all those great things seems to have happened to these people, and I really tend to believe these YouTubers because they really don't have a skin in it. I mean, what do they have to gain by, telling these things and making up lies? I mean, they really do not. And what I do sense from these Korean YouTubers is frustration. They are very frustrated that they are not getting the type of information that they need. They're not getting the reliable information from their government. They wanted their government to do a clinical study to see the efficacy of the fenbens for certain type of disease, including cancer. The government chose not to do it, and when there is a possibility of this wonderful drug working for something like cancer, I mean, wouldn't you want to do some studies? I mean, as individuals, obviously we can't do a clinical study. We don't have enough resources for it, but the government can. I guess that's I should limit my comment to that so that I don't get too far ahead and antagonize wrong people. And the symptoms clearing. I mean, when I was suffering from the fever for 3 nights, was that the cancer residue or some other bad stuff inside of me dying, and then they were clearing up? I don't really know, but my fevers have gone away. Since then, I've been feeling okay, and I was a little concerned coming into this week. Maybe the fever would come back, and I would again have to make a big decision as to whether I should continue with this experiment or not. But the fever actually never came back, and so it seems to have been I guess a short episode, or just something that was intermediary, and I think I am actually getting better. From what, I'm not sure, but I think I'm getting better. The overall health seems to be improving. My liver, I do have a bad liver. I didn't know that, but from my blood sampling and also my urine analysis, it does indicate that I have a liver problem, but I do not attribute that to fenben. I believe I had bad liver to start with, and the fenben did not aggravate it. However, one note is that fenben could be not as effective and possibly detrimental to people who are suffering from liver cancer. So fenben actually works by going through your liver first, and then it produces some type of an enzyme, and then that's what actually kills the cancer cells. I don't know the exact mechanics of it, obviously, but you know, you need your liver for fenben to properly work, and that is why you take it with the some type of an oil, maybe olive oil or any other type of oil, to allow for that to go through your digestive system and survive, and then go to your liver, and the liver's over here, by the way. Let's go to your liver, and then from your liver, you know, it goes into your bloodstream and starts working. Apparently that's how it's supposed to do. Anyway, thanks to Sadayan, thank you very much. I have ordered LIV 52 from Himalaya, so I'm gonna have that next week, probably Tuesday. So I'm going to start taking that instead of any other supplements, and I looked into it. It seems to have very good reviews, and so that may help with my liver. Anyway, I didn't want to talk this long, but you know, when you start having a list, you know, you start talking a lot, and you end up talking for at length. Anyway, it was good. Thank you very much for everybody for leaving comments. The comments are very helpful, and I appreciate your comments, and also many of you have shown concern for my health, which I thank you very much. I am also concerned, and I do watch my health very carefully. I have kids that I have to take care of. I do want to live long. I do want to be healthy, but you know, this is one question I really want answers to. You know, what does fenben do, and what are some of the side effects? Because you know, I think it's important. I'm just one man, but there's going to be many other people who maybe are doing the same thing, and who would be willing to speak and talk about their experience. And at some point, we should have some better data, maybe some clinical testing done, some test results coming in, and then maybe one of these days we would be doing much better as far as the cancer is concerned. You know, maybe I can just say, hey, Surya, I have cancer, I gotta go buy some drugs, and then I should be okay in 3 weeks, something like that. I mean, if I can say something like that, that's wonderful. That would be the day. That would make my day. Anyway, thanks for watching. You take care, and if you are suffering from an illness, and if you are considering fenben, continue to research and make a decision for yourself. Obviously, no one can recommend it for you or to you. There's not going to be any doctor who would say yes. I couldn't say yes to whatever you're doing, since I have no idea actually what your symptoms are, and I don't have the medical background. So no one really can make a recommendation for you to do it. But I guess we are all brothers and sisters, and you can learn from the experience of each and every one of us and make a decision for yourself. Take care, be healthy, stay well. I hope you're happy.